welcome back to Lori's Kitchen. Today we're making a family favorite soup, split pea soup with a ham bone. So there's big chunks of ham. It's very hearty soup. We love to eat this when the weather starts getting cold. It's just such a wonderful family memory of eating this during the winter time. So this is the split pea soup. I like to serve it with some crispy, crunchy French bread to dip it in, and this is such a hearty meal. It'll fill up your family. And one thing with this soup is it's so cheap to make. You know, your main ingredient are split peas, and this costs, I think, about $1.69 at Walmart. So, and then most of us have had a ham bone left over from Easter or some holiday or a family get-together. Save your ham bone, save a little extra meat on it, and it's perfect for this recipe. So let's go ahead and let's get started.
Okay, let's take a look at the required ingredients for this recipe. It's not a very complicated recipe, but you got to make sure you have all these ingredients. Let's first start out with a bag of green split peas. This is about 1 pound. And a meaty ham bone. Mine is probably closer to 2 pounds, and as you can see, we have some extra ham on the side. 2 stalks of celery, 2 carrots, a teaspoon and a half or up to 3 teaspoons of sugar, 2 bay leaves, 2 potatoes, 2 onions, 2 cans of broth, some salt and pepper to taste, and of course some crispy, crunchy French bread. Let's begin also by rinsing our split peas. It's a very important step of the recipe. You want to make sure that you rinse them very thoroughly. Split peas are not the cleanest pea out there. So what you're doing is really getting off any dirt, any seeds, any bad split peas. So first you rinse it very well, and then you're going to start picking it over and looking for any yellow peas. Take them out if there's any rocks by chance that might be in it, and go ahead and remove all of that. And so it just takes a few minutes just to go ahead and pick over the split peas, but you want to make sure that your batch starts with a really good, clean 1 pound bag of split peas. Let's go on to the next step. We're going to add the cleaned and rinsed split peas into our stock pot. As you can see in this case, I probably grabbed too big of a stock pot, but you'll see later I'm going to change it into a smaller pan. But at this point I'm going to add 4 cups of water. Just tap water is fine. Then I'm going to turn the heat on to high. We want to make sure we bring this to a boil, so we're going to go ahead and cover our pan so we can get it to a boil. I just took the lid off, and as you can see, it's starting to boil. I'm going to give it a good stir. You want to make sure that the peas are not sticking to the bottom of your pan. Now let's cover it, and we're going to reduce the temperature to a low simmer for about 45 minutes. The peas have been cooking for about 20 minutes so far, so I'm going to go ahead and give it another stir. Ensure nothing is sticking to the bottom. As you can see, there nothing's sticking, so we're going to go ahead and turn down the temperature just a bit because it's boiling probably a little bit too fast for us. Put the lid back on and let it finish the amount of time. While it's cooking, we're going to go ahead and start chopping our vegetables. We're going to take 2 stalks of celery and give it a coarse chop, 2 onions and dice it up, 2 potatoes we're going to peel and dice. They can be big chunks if you like because they cook pretty fast. And then also 2 carrots we're going to peel and dice and chop up and get them ready to add to our soup. We have about 10 more minutes left on our cooking time. We want to give it one more stir. As you can see, a lot of the water has been absorbed already by the peas. We're going to go ahead and put the lid back on and let it finish up the rest of the time for about 10.5 more minutes. Now that the time has elapsed, we're going to go ahead and take it off. As you can see, the peas are nice and thick. There's almost no liquid left whatsoever in the pan. Now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients, the ham, all of our chopped vegetables, including the potatoes. We're going to add the 2 cans of chicken broth. I use the low sodium ones here. About a teaspoon of thyme, a half to a teaspoon of thyme. Depends on how much you like that. 2 bay leaves. The teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons of sugar, cracked pepper to taste. As you can see, I like a lot of pepper. And we're going to give it a good stir. And put the lid on for about, as you can see right here, I actually changed it to a smaller pan. I thought that stock pot was just too big. Now we're cooking it for about 90 minutes. The 90 minutes are up. You can see how nice and thick and rich our soup looks. Our ham bone still has the ham on it, but we're going to go ahead and take that off and chop it up. One thing you didn't see here was that I blended the soup with a hand immersion blender after I took out the ham, chopped up the ham, and now I'm adding it back to the soup. As you can see, it's very rich in ham. Looks beautiful. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Our family really enjoys this. Please join us next time on our next episode of our cooking videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.